In this section, we're going to take a closer look at developing a curriculum map for the course that you are working on this summer. What we're looking for in a curriculum map is just basically, it's just a roadmap for the course that we're going to be teaching. So everything in here, it's not designed to be a script. For example, if you're looking at Unit 1 and you say that you think it's going to take approximately 10 days to teach, it doesn't mean that on day 12 you need to be on Unit 2. But rather giving a breakdown, because when you look at this, if you're teaching a course and it goes all year long, so you're looking at 180 days, these should add up to approximately 180 days. I wouldn't suggest going out the full 180 days because things do happen. If we have a snow day, those different types of things where it might need to be adjusted, or if you have events that are taking place in the building where you might not have students for the entire class period. But we're just looking at that general roadmap, a breakdown of suggestions on each of the units. So for right here, you would take and you would just put whatever course that you're teaching. So if you're teaching a biology class, you would just put biology up here. Under the course description, you're really looking to just write just a one paragraph brief description of what the students are going to be learning in this class. And if you have a class that maybe you're focusing on some skills, you can list some of the skills that the students will obtain by completing this course as well. And so now that you've unpacked your standards, you have a stronger understanding of what those standards are, and then you're breaking it down and you're basically kind of sequencing when it's going to be taught throughout the course. So you're going ahead and you're going to list a title for the unit and about how long you think that unit is going to take. And then the essential question, one of the things that we're learning through this process is your essential question is basically that big overarching question for the entire unit, so that every lesson that the students are doing within this unit is going to be able to help the students answer that essential question. And so we've gone over in great detail with that in other sections of this training, so we're not going to go into a lot of it here. And then with the standards, you want to list all the standards that are being addressed within this unit. So if you have a unit and you're addressing 5 standards throughout the course of this unit, you'll just go ahead and list all the standards here. And then your learning targets, you're looking at your learning targets as in the sense of you do want to put them in the order that they're being taught, and then your learning targets are like our old objectives. So if you're saying that this course is going to take 11 days, generally you would have about 11 learning targets. The only exception to that is if you have a learning target that might take 2 days, then the days and learning targets might be off a little bit. But something that you don't want to have is if you're saying that this course is taking, this unit is taking 11 days, you're not going to have one learning target listed here. And then for the assessment, you're just going through and you're going to indicate how are you going to assess the students at the end of this unit. So this can be something that is could be a unit test, it could be a project, those types of things. So you're not going to list the formative assessments that are going to be done that are typically tied to your individual lessons or learning experiences, but rather you're looking at that big unit assessment. And so then we're going to go ahead and put that in here. And then once you get to the point that after you've developed that assessment, then you might want to go back in here and then if it's something that you're handing out to the students, then you want to put a hyperlink in here with that. If you have something that the students are creating, you might want to also include a rubric here to help other teachers who would eventually be teaching this so that you have that common understanding of that, how to grade that. So really what we're doing, looking at this is just that unit assessment. This is the one thing that we're looking at as being that common assessment that every teacher who teaches this course, this is that one assessment that every teacher is going to give. And so then really we just break this down by the different units. And so then if you have more than 6 units, we'll just go ahead and then we'll add some down here so that we get those covered. And then you might have a course that you only teach for 1 quarter, so maybe you only have 4 units. And so then you would just delete these out. Just the other quick thing is we do want to, down here in the footer, put what year was it developed, and then down here in the other corner, you're just kind of putting the title of the course again, so that way if this is several pages long, it'll go through all of them. So with the year developed, this will help us when it comes time to revisions and things like that. We just kind of want to know when is the last time that this was really updated and go back and take a look at that. So I did want to give you an example of what it would look like. So this is one that was developed last summer in the school district. So we have the title of the course, first grade science, give a short description. You see it's just a paragraph long, talking about some of the basic things that the students were going to be learning about. And then they broke it down by the units. So with this one, you can see all the units here. So this one only has the 4 units, so they broke it down that way. And so they said that this first unit, they think it's going to take a little more than 11 days. And then so they have that essential question. So one essential question that every lesson that the students get will help the students answer this question. And then when we get into the standards, you can see all the standards that are being addressed within this unit are all listed here. And then when it goes down to the learning targets, so these are the daily objectives. So the first one you can see is I can create a life cycle. And then the second lesson is going to be I can use vocabulary words to label the stages of a life cycle. So each one of these are different lessons. And then, so with these, most of these are going to take more than 1 day, and that's why you see you have 5 learning targets and you have 11 days, because it's going to take a little bit longer to teach some of these. And then when you get into the assessment, you can see that this is what the students are going to do, and then they've linked the assessment, and then they linked the rubric in there as well. So it's kind of what we're looking for with that. And then down here, they got that change. It was developed in 2018, and down here again, first grade science. And so they went through this process for the entire course. So one of the things that we do is we do have kind of a checklist that we go through with a curriculum map. So what we're going to do after you develop the first unit, you're going to kind of send an email to myself and kind of let me know that you got the first unit done. And I'll go in and just kind of take a look at it. And really what I'm doing is, in the past, what some teams had done is they developed a whole curriculum map, and then I took a look at it, and then we noticed that there were some things that were being done incorrectly. And so then instead of waiting until the very end to do that, we're going to do it unit 1, send it to me, let me take a look at it, make sure that we're kind of on the right target, and then kind of send you an email and say, yep, you're good to go, and then go ahead and finish it. And so what we do is we have this developed in the district that kind of goes through, and it's kind of a checklist that kind of takes us through to show the different things that are being looked for in a curriculum map. So with this one is a course title. Curriculum map includes a course title. It's there, it's missing, and then any possible notes that I would have, I'll provide those for you here as well. So it really just takes you through the different things that are on that curriculum map. So like with the course description, units of instruction, your essential question, looking at those things is each unit has an essential question. Essential questions are open-ended. Essential questions are written in student-friendly language. So those types of things, and it's either there or a revision is recommended. And so through all the parts of this, the assessment piece, this is the one that a lot of this is going to get moved to the to a different area, because really with some of these, assessments are included or attached. You might not be working on assessments with this. You might just be working on the curriculum map. So you might say what the assessment is going to be, but you may not necessarily have it attached. And then the last thing I wanted to show you is this is one that was developed. And really what it does, it just kind of takes you through to kind of show what it looks like when I go through and review. So you can see that you get the different parts in here. Each unit has a title. They're all there. They're all included. And like with the essential question, the essential questions are open-ended. And put satisfactory and say, hey, you might want to take a look at Unit 4. There's a single correct answer for this essential question. So looking at those types of things. So this is, I will kind of go through and give that feedback so that we're all following those same guidelines that we're working towards as we're developing these curriculum maps. And then at the very bottom there, I just kind of put a couple of suggestions. Learning target for each day, learning targets as daily objectives, write out the standards. As assessments are completed, link them in the document. So that you can kind of see what we're looking for. And I just want to make sure that everyone has this up front also, so they kind of get that understanding of what, as a district, we're looking to get developed as we move forward with this process. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out, or if you want to work on some of this together, just reach out and we can set up a time that we can sit down and work on some of this together.